I am a recording artist, a radio personality, an actress, a TEDx speaker, and most recently, a certified master life coach. And I am just like you, on this wild ride, a page-turning book filled with victorious chapters and chapters of sheer defeat. Well, I'm here in the arena now, here to help you create a beautiful life.
Baby, don't you know, when you leave it right, it's a beautiful life. Baby, it's a beautiful life. When you leave it right, baby, it's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life.
Let me hint that this is your favorite chica, Judy Torres. Welcome to Beautiful Life with Judy Torres, the podcast. For those of you listening for the first time, I welcome you. For those of you returning, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate that. I decided to start this podcast because I've been a recording artist for over 35 years now, a radio personality for over 22 years, an actress, a TEDx speaker, and recently a life coach for the last 3 years. And what I noticed is that I was getting tons of fan mail, not just asking for autographs, but the majority of people asking for advice. And so becoming a life coach, I just feel like this is something that actually can relate to it. And so I believe that this podcast is meant to inspire, empower, and encourage people to help them learn things along the way to live a beautiful life. Hi, Vinny.
Hi, Judy. Where have you been? This is like, I haven't seen you. You had a busy March. I think we called it March Madness, right?
Well, that's what they call it. And, just the fact that they call it that, all of a sudden, everything just does go crazy. I mean, honestly, I was just telling Vinny off air that my head is spinning. I just can't keep up with my own life. I can't keep up with, it's just too much, Vinny.
It's a good thing, but
it's a great thing. And we can do a whole episode about how when you see yourself, ready to burn out, that you got to pull back the reins and you got to decide what's most important, what are your priorities, and maybe you take a step back or something like that, even if it's a 10-minute nap or something. But
yeah, because you start to feel it physically as well as emotionally and mentally.
Yeah. It's just a lot. But I mean, I've been blessed, thankfully, I'm not going to say COVID's not here because it is. Many of us are behaving as if it's not. And I know that it's because we're tired. We're tired of the mess. We're tired of all these mandates. We're tired of all feeling just so restricted. And it just goes to show you that as human beings, we want freedom. And so now that the weather's getting nicer, now that some of the mandates are lifted, it just feels like, oh my God, thank you. I can perform and it's been fun. The performances have been fun, especially when we did Westbury Music it's NYCB Music Theater, excuse me.
Well,
Westbury.
Everybody will always know it as Westbury Music Fair because that's what it was,
Yeah, that place was on fire, and the thing about it was, I don't know if they had turned the heat on because it was cold initially, but the place was packed, so it got hot, or they tried to turn the AC on, the AC wasn't working, something happened, I don't know, it doesn't matter because they didn't care.
Right.
They didn't. I mean, I remember when I walked on, there's a curtain that you have to go through to go down the stage.
And down the ramp, yeah.
Right, to go down the ramp. And as soon as you open the curtain, you hear, it's hot in here. It's like, oh, you just feel like the heat just smacks you like, oh my God, I have to go on stage like this. And I had this outfit.
I think you had like a part leather thing.
Yeah, it was a pleather. It was a pleather thing.
It was like dragging behind you.
I was like, why did I wear this? I'm going to die up there. And, but the crowd was amazing.
And for people that don't know what Judy's talking about, if you're out of the area, pretty much this is a theater in the round where the stage spins. It's almost like an old school modern Greek amphitheater where the performer's in the center of the stage and it spins. It's a 360 view. All the seats go up on a slope and it's in the round. So there's not
so
one
it doesn't
bad
matter where
seat
you're
in the
sitting.
house.
Right. It doesn't matter where you're sitting. At some point, you're going to see the person face to face. The problem is what people don't understand is when you're on that stage, you start to freak out. it doesn't spin fast. but it doesn't spin too slow either. And so I find that I start getting confused. Wait, well, did I face this direction already? And so I'm just all over the place because I want to make sure everybody sees me. And then when the show's over, I'm like, where do I go off? Like it's so, oh man, talking about it, it's like a trip. It's weird.
And it's an energy. It's an energy punch because that place always brings the energy.
Yeah. And then as you're dancing, you know, and I'm the Puerto Rican Urkel, I'm very clumsy. So I'm like, oh God, please don't let me fall. God, please, you know, people don't realize how many times I pray while I'm singing. But it was a great show. But that's an example of how great it's been, you know.
And huge shout outs to Sapphire for receiving the Freestyle Lifetime Achievement Award, right?
Yes, she had a Live Nation Lifetime Achievement Award. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Very well deserved and overdue. Sapphire is an incredible woman. The thing I admire about her is how she's spunky. You know, she's kind of, you know, soft-spoken. She's pretty introverted until she gets to know you. But when she's on stage, it's like,
oh, she's a firecracker. And her voice is still powerhouse.
Yeah. I feel like for some reason, and I mean this in the most positive light, when she gets up there, I just imagine her being a circus ringleader with a whip, like, you know, like she doesn't play.
She gets it done.
And, you know, Boy, I've Been Told, and Love Is on Her. Oh my, Love Is on Her Mind is my favorite one. That's my favorite one. So seeing her perform and seeing her get that award was awesome. And hearing Sal Abatello read off all her credits, all the things she's done throughout her career, very well deserved. Yeah.
Absolutely. So congratulations, Sapphire. And Judy's had a great month. And now we're hopefully back in the swing of things with your podcast. And today you got a great guest, another freestyle sister.
Yes, I do.
She's an icon.
She is an icon. She has had so many hits in English and in Spanish. And we look up to her because she reminds us that she still believes. And we're talking about Brenda K. Starr, the one and only. I can't wait to talk to her. We're going to talk to her today about what she feels when she's on stage. She has this incredible courage. She's fearless when she's on stage, and it shows, and she radiates, and everywhere she goes, she's like the life of the party. And I want to ask her today, where does that courage come from? And if there is something there that she feels insecure, that she doesn't show it, what is it? I also want to talk to her today about how, you know, she continually reinvents herself. So how has she decided to stay relevant? You know, what is it that she tells herself? Okay, maybe I have to do this. Okay, now I'm going to do this. But she never does it with fear. She doesn't seem to care about what anyone says about her, what they think about her. She just does it. And she does it really happy. You know, she's like, okay, I think I'm going to do this. Okay. And then 2 months later, she's doing, I'm like, oh my God, she said she was going to do that. And finally, I want to talk to her about how she's able to balance her career with being a mother and being a wife. And then hopefully we can get her husband to talk as well, because I watched him at one of our most recent shows. We did the freestyle cruise, Cynthia's freestyle cruise, and he was incredible with her.
Yeah, he handles business.
I mean,
like a champ.
The two of them, they're like a power couple.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to them about that. And I think that the listeners and the viewers can learn a lot from their marriage.
I'll never forget, I did an event with them a while back. I was hosting a club event and I seen this big tour bus pull up. And all of a sudden I look outside and it's Chris driving it with the cigar hanging out of his mouth. And she's on the bus. And at the time, her daughter, Tori, and another young lady, they were all dressing, the three of them. They would rent tour buses. They would have tour buses for her to get ready for the small venues that didn't really have dressing rooms. And she would get dressed on the bus and then she would come out and it was like, bam, she would just do one thing after the other and really hit the audience with a great performance. So it's going to be
it doesn't
awesome.
surprise me that her daughters do so well. Her family's successful. And the reason why is because she's a powerhouse. And I think she's a great leader. So I want to talk to her today about all that.
So you will, and it's going to be a great conversation. We're going to bring her in right now. And, let's see what you guys come up with and how many people will be inspired by this conversation.
How are you, Mama? How's everything?
Everything's great. Thank God.
Awesome. I'm so excited to have you on my podcast. Thank you so much, because you have been doing this probably even longer than I have. So how many years has it been now that you've been performing?
40 years.
40 years.
I started at 15, so 55.
Yeah, it's crazy. And how does it feel after all this time? Like, did you ever think it would last this long?
I'm definitely blessed for more than that. I didn't even have an inkling, not even a thought in my mind that it would last this long, but like I said, I'm grateful.
When I first started performing, I remember my first manager, George Vascones, he said to me, I want you to watch this girl. He pointed out certain people to me. He pointed you out and he pointed out TKA. And he said, I want you to watch this girl. I want you to watch how she performs. Okay. Look how she has stage presence. Look how she talks to the crowd. Look how she enjoys herself. She has fun up there. And I was like, wow. Oh my God, that's Brenda K. Starr. And then I remember I performed right before you in Orchard Beach. And I just remember being so excited. And then like, here we are so many years later and actually know you and we talk and you've lent me hairspray and you've done my hair for me sometimes.
Yeah. You know, we always help each other. That's what's the best part of this business. You grow like a sisterhood and you guys completely, you know, are there for each other. Or at least I know that's the connection with the artists that I've worked with and that I grew up with in this business. And it's very important for us to know that we're not in competition with each other, but that we're happy for the opportunities that are, you know, that are amongst us, and we should be humbled for this opportunity and to support each other, because for us, you know, we are pretty much each other's best friends because we live our lives on the road and we spend a lot of time with each other. And it's very important to recognize that we need to be here for each other at all times.
Do you think that we were always that way? Do you think maybe when we were younger, do you think we were afraid? Like I remember many years ago in Queens, Cora was performing for the first time and a lot of us hadn't seen him. And I remember everyone's like staring backstage like this with the curtain, like, oh my God, you think he's going to be good? You think he's got a good voice? And I remember people like, oh, you think he's going to take George Lamont out? It was like, why are people like that? But do you think it's always been that way? You think we were always like really close? Do you think over the years we've gotten closer?
I think when we were younger, we were always afraid of losing, you know, that spot in the spotlight. But for me, I can only say me. I can only say that I was always afraid of having this opportunity and it being slipped right underneath me. So for me, I would just always get up there and I would be in focus mode to go have a great time. I was always raised with an amazing mom that always instilled in me how important it was to love what I do and go up there and have a good time. So I think every time I went up there, I treated it as if it was going to be my last time on the stage. So for me, I didn't really look at it as, is this one better than me? Or is this one going to sound better than me? I just wanted to go out there and do a great job so the promoter would call me again and I would be able to work. But I do remember times in my career just looking at the curtain and being like, oh my God, he's doing so good and she's doing great. Like, I want to do better. Like, I want the crowd to go crazy for me. So I do remember that stuff.
I've been observing you for years, but especially in the last 2 years. I just watch you when you perform, and you do perform like it's your last. You do perform like you throw everything out there. You leave your heart on the stage. And what I want to do, what I'm hoping to do with the viewers and the listeners is to help inspire them that the things that we learn while we are on stage can be taught as life lessons, right? So one of the qualities that I see in you, for me personally, is how courageous you are. I don't see you afraid of anything. What you see is what you get, literally, from your song, you know, pun intended. You know, so it's like, it's amazing that you go up there and you really have all this passion. So before you go on stage, do you have any thought, or is it like you've been doing this so long, it just clicks for you? Do you think anything in your mind before you go up there? Because I know I do.
The most important thing for me before I get on that stage is basically I try to get alone a little bit by myself backstage. I like to have my me time. I like to try to warm up as quick as I can because, as you know, we have to entertain the fans, the meet and greets, etc. So when we get there, we have minimal time to get ready and to really just sit there and think with ourselves, or you know, kind of like put ourselves in the mode. But for me, that happens a lot. So I try to stay, to myself, just get the mode and throw a couple little warm-ups in the bathroom. And it's so funny because every time I go to the stage, I always try to go to the dance.
It happens sometimes, right? It makes you a better dancer.
Yeah, I gotta take my husband's like, well, you can't go there now. But it's funny, but it dissipates sometimes. It just goes away. But I think that's what's really my nerves are about. Most of my nerves are about getting on stage and doing a great job. But before getting on stage, always at a table, or if not, I'm backstage, warming up. And I definitely always do the sign of the cross to say, praise God, thank you for the opportunity again, once again, another night of work. But more than that, thank you, Jesus Christ, for this beautiful.
Amen.
And then I get to the voice. And then I get on stage and I do the sign of the cross and I go have fun.
And then that's it. That's it.
Important.
Is there anything that you say to yourself to psych yourself up, or just to kind of affirm that you're ready to go out?
Just that my inner voice was like, you got this, Brenda, you got this, go got this. Turn it on, Mama, turn it on, you got this. You the best, you the best. My brother used to call me the champ. So he asked me, like, you the champ. So I would go up there and say, of course, as musicians, we do tend to have our moments where our voices aren't 100%. It's so much easier for me to go in the studio and cut an amazing song, get that I'm given. There's days that my voice doesn't sound great. And I get very nervous because I feel like I put a lot on my plate that I should. I'm recording the Latin, I'm recording the English, I'm songwriting, I'm a mother of 4, I'm a grandmother of 5. I'm trying to still continue to be a songwriter, be relevant in my publishing. So for me, it's scary, but it's an amazing experience that I could say that now as I grow older. People say, oh, are you going to retire soon? And for me, I just feel like there's so much more for me to take advantage of in this industry. And that's the reason why I try to stay relevant. I try to do different things, but I also try to stay true to the fans and give them what they want.
That's the second thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I feel like you can watch some people and I'm not talking about artists. I'm just talking about people in general, that you see some people, they work and then they kind of stay there. Like it's okay. Like this is good as it gets. I'm good. I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to push further. You obviously have that personality A type person where you just keep going for it. So what is it that causes you to have that kind of drive? Because you could stop anytime you want to. You're already successful. You already have a family. You're a mom, you're a grandmother. Like you said before, you've been married for so long. You've had tons of success. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. But for some reason, something inside you keeps going. So what is that drive about?
I think the drive is more so that I have not reached where I want to be potential-wise. I always feel like there's always room for growth in my career, in my mental health, in my well-being. But in terms of like my career-wise, I don't feel like I am where I should be. I mean, I have to tell you that recently I finally registered to be a voting member of the Grammys. I've also worked myself into being part of the Latin Grammy. I'm finally submitting my new music to get nominated. Where I want to be and what I want to do in terms of leaving a legacy, in order for me to do that, my work is still not done. I want to win a Grammy. I don't want to be nominated. I want to win. Why I want to win it is because of the fact that I want to be able to hold that and leave it for my children and say, this is what my mom's hard work paid off for. This is what the fans gave to her. The fans vote, the people vote, the industry has a lot of people that go, that are within the Grammy Association. So that's something that I just recently took advantage of.
That's great.
Doing. And I needed to do it because this is a goal that I have. So that's one of my goals. It's also me pushing myself with the Spanish. Spanish is not my first language. English is my first language. My descendants are half Israeli and half Puerto Rican. So for me, I had to learn the language. So I'm still learning every day. I know how important it is when you have a record label. The record label is your force. They're the people out there. They have everybody designated jobs. I am the record label. I am the artist.
You're doing marketing.
I'm the table agent. I am the marketer. I'm the video director. I directed Petrone for La Loca. I directed the last video, Galaxy. I did all the visuals. I did all the styling, artistry. I told them what I wanted to wear, how I wanted it to be. And I feel like it's never, my job is never done because as an artist, our artistry is always continuously working. We're continuously reinventing ourselves, trying to stay relevant. So for me, I'll continue to work as an artist that will create, reinvent, and reach my ultimate goals. And when I feel satisfied is when I know I had enough. But until then, I'm just going to keep pushing because this is really what keeps me motivated as an artist, as a person. And I just want to be an example to everyone out there that you don't have to be with a major label to be successful. If you want to make yourself successful, you just have to keep pushing because, persistence is prevalence. And if you continue to do that, you can find the success that you deserve. I want to be like anyone else out there. I just want to do me. I want to have fun. I want to be able to create music. And I want to continue to grow because every day I'm learning something new. I'm always working. I consider myself a workaholic. I was never really a school girl. Didn't really love going to school. I should have been more, I should have thought more. I think this is the reason why I'm so much more strict with my kids now. Because for me, I didn't think education was as important until I got older.
So if people are watching or listening, right, and perhaps they didn't finish high school or they have kids that are struggling, right, can you tell the people why you realize now how important it is? You
need to know how to become a business person. With that being said, I couldn't do all that because I didn't think that way as a young girl. I just thought, hey, I'm going to make money, I'm going to be a singer. But I didn't think about all the things that came along with it. And with that being said, I realized that I needed an education because I was going to take advantage of it because I didn't know a lot of this stuff. And I said to myself, if I want to be a singer and I want to be a businesswoman and I want to be in this industry, I need to learn business. And I won't be able to learn it if I don't have an education. So I went back to school. I went to Petrone School for Young Professionals. I graduated. I got my high school diploma. And I can still tell you that I still every day learn more and more. And the only advice that I can give somebody that wants to be in the industry that's young and doesn't think, oh, I'm going to be famous, I need to realize that even if you have to do it online, take advantage of education and the opportunity because education can take you a long way. You can be a songwriter, you can deal with your money in your industry, you can deal with reading over contracts. There's a lot more to this business other than just getting behind the mic and singing. You got to be prepared to take it to where you want it to go. Have you had naysayers in your life, people telling you, Brenda, you can't do this, you need to stop, or you're not going to make it, anything like that? What, when you were coming up?
When I got dropped from Tommy Mottola, when I was on Epic Records, he decided that I just wasn't a good fit for the company, and I was shelved with the By Heart album. And right then and there, I lost my self-esteem. I felt so down and out. But at one point, I just remember how my mom always said, you can't let these things, predict your future. You need to keep going. There's somebody out there that's going to believe in you. So I kept pushing to prevail. And then one day I went to meet up with Sergio George. Sergio George produces Mark Anthony. He's worked with many, many artists, even La India. Anyway, I had went and sang to him with a piano, and I did a couple of bars of, I Still Believe in Spanish. He was like, yeah, you're good, but I don't think you're ready. I think you need work, and, I don't think it's a good fit again. So what did I do? I just said to myself, you know what? This is not going to make my decision on what I'm going to do to stay relevant in this business. I decided to go to Cannes. When I went to Cannes with a guy by the name of Jeffrey Collins, I went as a songwriter, and I sang for the guy in Platano Records. His name was Pepe Armada. I sang an a cappella of them, I Still Believe in Spanish, and I literally only went to Madame as a songwriter. Fast forward, they gave me a record deal. I got a #1 record for I don't know how many weeks, maybe 17 weeks, 18 weeks. It was a song called Herida. And I heard through the grapevine that Sergio George was like, damn, I let her go. But, I didn't get to work with him. But it was a chance for me to say, even though someone said I couldn't do it, didn't mean I wasn't going to do it. It was just pushing me to do even better. I
actually remember we were on a plane. I don't remember where we were going. We were going back from some show, and I was sitting next to you, and you turned to me and you said, Judy, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a salsa record. I don't speak Spanish or whatever, but I'm going to do a salsa record. And I was like, okay, girl, go ahead. Go. And then, you know, I heard Eddie then I was like, my God, this girl, there's nothing that stops you. That's what I love about you. It's
you.
you just go full force, whatever you want, you just go out and you get it. And like I said, I've been watching you a lot. Like I observe all of us. I watch all of us because every single one of us contributes to the music industry in a different way. We all have our
Exactly.
own unique gift, you know? And so I
Right.
watch you, and for me, I see determination, passion, and a joy for life. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like for those of you who were not at the freestyle cruise, Brenda is just the type of girl. That's the girl who's going to steal the party. She's going to
Oh, you're
jump up
looking
on the
for it.
table and she's going to dance. And you know, you're the life of the party. And we had a ball. And you know,
Yeah,
we
did.
know if Brenda's there, we're going to have a great time. And that's what I love about you. We were
Thank
also
you.
talking. You also mentioned before about how we talked about how the industry can be very ageist. So now that
Yeah.
we're in our 50s, right? I
Mhm.
don't know what happens to you, but you know, I get comments on social media like, "Oh, life hasn't been good to her," or "God, you know, why don't you stop already?" or whatever, you know. And I'm just like, "What?"
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
what I want to know is like, what is it that you tell yourself that you say, "I don't care what they say. I'm just going to do my thing."
Because if Celia Cruz could do it at her age, if you have Tony Bennett that could continue doing it at his age, if you had Frank Sinatra that can continue in doing it, etc., Pavarotti. For me, I I think age is just a number. Yeah, we're gonna age. We're all gonna age gracefully. And if I look old on stage and I get my wrinkles or whatever, it doesn't matter. For me, I'm still doing what I love. And to be honest with you, I've seen so many concerts from PBS to Fox and this and that and all these stations. But mostly I watch Channel 13 and I see all the old school singers get up there and do their thing. And the place is packed. So it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter just because it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
work for you for yesterday's music that is still happening today doesn't mean you have to attend my concert. This is for all different people and different music lovers. For us, we're continuing to live our legacy, sings the songs that people listen to that bring them back memories. And my thing is, it doesn't matter how old I am. Am I going to try and go out there and look like a 23-year-old? No. As time goes on and I age gracefully, I will continue to find the proper looks, images, clothing, things that can work with me so I don't have to act like I'm a young girl out there trying to be a young girl when I'm not. I'm still representing a woman with a gift and a woman who is living her dreams and enjoying what she does until it's time for her to say she doesn't want to do it anymore. But until then, I don't really listen to what the negative comments are because for me, people that say negative things that I've had that said to me. So believe me, you're not the only one. I've had stuff said to me like, "Oh my God, this one this one sounds better than you, that one." And I'm like, that's amazing. I love her work. So for me, my rebuttal is always something positive. If they
Mm-hmm.
say, "Why did you wear that? That didn't fit you, or your hair was a mess, or somebody should have did your makeup different." And I would turn around and I would say, "I'm gonna remember that for next time so I know I can look better for you. But thank you for that. I appreciate that."
Mm-hmm.
I would never say anything negative to them because when you answer someone back, when they give you something so negative and you answer them back with a
You give them
positive,
the power.
you give them the power, but more than that, you're giving them the opportunity to see the person you are. That the things that they say may be mean, but it doesn't mean you have to take it that way because maybe they're insecure with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they'll realize how genuine you are. Like, wow, I probably shouldn't have said that. That was pretty effed up. But and then eventually they'll come back and be like, "I didn't mean what I said. Da, 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 da." So for me, I don't really take the negative comments uh into like hurtful ways. I just basically take it as a learning experience. And if there's things that I didn't do correct that night, or maybe the outfit didn't look right, I just kind of comment like, "Yeah, you know, it was an off night. My voice was a little tight," or, you know, there's reasons for every rhyme. So whatever anybody has to say negative, I don't really pay it any attention because for me, I'm a very vulnerable person. And sometimes things like that hurt me and it makes me feel less than. And no matter how much I look like a superstar in front of everybody, there are my days that I look in the mirror and I'm like, "Oh, I'm getting wrinkly. Oh, I feel ugly. Why is my hair like this? Why does my skin look like this?" And I'm as normal as everybody out there. So when they say those things that are hurtful, I just want them all, as I'm saying this live right now, I want them all to respect the fact that we go out there to perform for them and give them our all. And it's really mean to say negative things to you, to me, to Cindy, to George, to TKA, or to anybody in general. You don't even have to be in the business. You shouldn't be mean to anyone. This world, we should all be kind to each other and be grateful for the opportunities that we're all given. So yeah, I have received negative comments, but I've always turned the negative into a positive.
What legacy do you want to be remembered for? Like, what legacy do you want to leave? If you should decide to end your career, or God forbid something bad happens or whatever, what do you want people to say about you? I know you want the Grammy, and I think you're going to get it. I really do. I think you have a beautiful voice, one of the best in our business for sure. But what would you like people to say about you?
Just that I am a humble individual that appreciates my fans, and that I love what I do, and that no matter how tough it is, I always learn to make light of it all and remember that there's always a light on the other tunnel. And remember me as just a happy, outgoing, funny, witty singer that loves not the attention, but loves to be part of the attention. I love to just have fun. I love life, and I just want to be remembered as someone who loves to smile, and that's it, and have a great time. Music is my world.
What is your favorite word?
Genuine. I would say genuine, just because I feel like I'm a genuine person. I would take my shirt off my back for anyone. I try my best just to be me, just to know, because I come from nothing. I came from a mother of 7 who was a single parent. My mother did everything from working in emergency rooms to being on her own for 15 years old. I feel like I was blessed to have a mother to pave the road the way she did for me, because she made me even a better mom than I thought I could be. So I if I ever stop doing this, which I hope I don't, and till God willing, until I'm long gone, I still teach my grandkids music. They're learning now. But I think the legacy would just be that I'm just a happy, genuine person. And my favorite word would be genuine, because I'm genuine. What you see is what you get. I'm not a hypocrite. I look you in your face. I tell you what I feel. I tell you if I appreciate you. I tell you if I'm uncomfortable, because I can't put my head on that pillow knowing that I didn't speak my piece. Sometimes it goes against me in this business, but to be honest with you, I don't really care. I'm not living my life for you. I'm living my life for me. And when I'm enjoying what I'm doing, I'm making everybody happy around me. So it's very important to be genuine and real.
Do you think, can you speak to the women out there who, sometimes they're afraid to speak their mind, right? Because sometimes when you speak your mind, people misinterpret you. You know what I mean? They misperceive you. So in other words, if a man says what he needs, what he wants, what he expects, he's being assertive.
He's a go-getter.
But if a woman does it, she's a bitch.
Yeah, we're a pain in the ass. We're a bitch.
Right. So
Absolutely.
what do you say to that? Like, let's say you could give someone advice about that, about speaking their mind. Like, what do you tell yourself that's why you don't care what people think? This is what I'm going to say.
Yeah, well, because of the fact that why should I let someone interpret or dictate what it is I should say, do, or act like, or even become as a person? I don't think anybody should dictate anyone's disposition, how they should be, where they should go, how they should act, because then that's not having your own individuality. So for me, I don't let anybody tell me how to do it. I mean, if I could take constructive criticism, don't get me wrong, because I'm not perfect, but I will not stand just because I'm in this business that has been dominated by men for so many years that they can tell me that I can't do it as a woman. I'm doing it, and persistence is prevalence, and I'm not. And I got that from you, sister, because I remember one day you said persistence is prevalence, and I never forgot that. And it's so true.
I don't remember saying.
You said it one time, and I said, you know what? That's so true, and it's stuck in my mind. But I just feel like, and I say this to everybody, if you have a dream and you feel like everybody is saying, everybody around you, from your parents, because my mom was always like, you want to be a singer, go for it. Other people would tell their kids, oh, you're wasting your time, go to college, do this, do that. You know what? I'm not saying college isn't it for everyone, to be honest with you.
No, it's not.
And for me, I'm just me. And like I said, this business is pretty much geared by men. And it's very important for us as women to know that we too could be women boss. And I am a woman boss. I just hired a team of publicists today. I have my label. I'm working with Carlos Perez from Sony Music, who's recently opened his own company. I'm having my music distributed all over the world. And for me, as long as I'm doing what I love and I'm getting calls to do concerts to entertain my fans, I'm doing what I was put on this earth to do. This is my gift, and this is a gift from God that I'll never take advantage of. And this is what brings me glory. This is what takes me out of depression.
Ooh,
This
you
is what
just said
makes
the
me
word glory.
happy.
Go ahead, girl.
Yeah, this is what makes me happy.
Brenda is saying, look, if you don't have a seat for me at the table, I'm gonna find my own table. I'm gonna make the
I
table.
got my
I'm
own
gonna get
table, I got
right?
my own seat, and I got my own bottle of wine. And that's it. Would you look at that?
That's it. All right. So on that note, may we speak with your husband, please? With you. I won't
Yeah.
keep you much longer. Hi, Chris. How are you?
My love?
How's everything?
Everything's excellent. How are you?
Come
So
sit right
I
here, man.
wanted to
Calm down.
speak to you because I remember when we were on the freestyle cruise, right? Brenda, you were having a ball. You were dancing out there. I mean, you were like, all over the place. And I turned over and I look at Chris, and Chris is just hanging out there with his little drink, just mellow, And I'm like, man, I went over to him and I said, so, how do you do this? Like, it's hard for some people to watch their spouse go dancing all over the place. And just, I love Brenda because Brenda is alive and Brenda doesn't hide it. She's who she is, but it takes a certain type of man to handle that. And I saw that you were just mellow. You were kind of cool. It's like, okay. I admired the fact that you let her be who she is. That's what I admired. And I went up to Chris and I said, Brenda, I told Chris, I said, we need to start a freestyle spousal support group so that the spouses of the freestyle artists can talk with each other. They can vent and complain about us, because it's not easy to be with us because people are always asking us for autographs and we're always doing something. I
We
think
have really bad mood swings because as artists, we have our moments where it's tough.
and we're very free spirited, and that's really hard. So what do you say to yourself, or how have you come to this point where you just accept who she is? But I also know that you bring the reins in when you need to. So that's another thing, because he still shows he's the man. And then Brenda, you are so like, every time I see you with him, look, even the body language, it's like she's in love with you always. I love, and I'm not saying guys probably have not, I'm not saying it's been perfect. I'm saying that I can see that you've turned this into a truly, like, you guys are really a power couple at this point, So how did you get to that point?
I'm very confident myself. I mean, I think most of the point is the guy has to be confident. You women are all beautiful. For me, when I see her out there with people that I'm comfortable with and I know she's safe, I feel like I can sit back and say, wow, she deserves it, because I see her bust her hump all week long. And when I see her glow and I see her fans happy that they're with her, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? To me, that's what it's all about to me. For her to work hard all week, that's like the flowers, you know what I mean? That's what you're supposed to enjoy. The fans loving what you do and you loving your fans, So for me, I'm very secure. I don't have no insecurities with her. We've been together for so long. I think the most important thing is a person should be with you for who you are, not for what you do. You know what I mean? So if you're up there singing and they're with you because you're a star, that's not the right person to be with. If they're with you because they love you, and you can wake up on a Sunday morning and have bad breath and everything else and still be
I got no bad breath.
You know what I mean? But I'm just very secure. I know how hard she works. She proves to me how much she loves me. I guess that's what makes me a little bit more secure.
So much.
You know what I mean? I guess if she was ignoring me and so on and so forth, I'd be insecure. Why is she over there and everything? But I think the first thing the person needs to do is they need to be with you. They don't need to be with Judy Torres on stage. They got to know you. They got to want to be with you. And then the stage, that's just a bonus. That's like, I sit back and I watch everybody go crazy for my wife. That's like, wow. And she's with me.
Yeah.
So to me, that kind of makes me excited. You know what I mean? It makes me excited that she's happy to see all you guys. You know what I mean? Because when you guys get together, it's always a good time.
Oh, we always have a good time. Yeah.
So, it's not easy. Like I told you on the cruise, for a man, it's not easy. You need to give him a chance to kind of see who you are.
Can you explain? Because even if people are not in the industry, there are some men who have to feel kind of insecure sometimes. So explain what that means for a man to be secure.
Communication too.
Well, yeah, I mean, communication, of course, is the biggest issue with everything. There's lack of communication in some relationships, I feel, because I talk to guys that I used to work with when I was working, and they're not happy. And to be married to somebody, I'm married to her more than half my life.
I know him longer than his mom.
Yeah. To be with somebody that you're not happy with, life is so short. You know, that's how I feel. So I think that they have to enjoy you.
You got to be the best of friends.
Yeah, you just got to enjoy each other.
You got to make each other complete.
See,
you complete me, I complete you.
You don't let me talk.
No,
you know, that is cool. But I mean, you know, just men in general, you know, I think I remember when I was young and I met her and she was on stage and I was like a fan. I was like staring at her like, oh my God, you know what I mean? That's my wife. So
were you intimidated by her at any time in the beginning?
Not intimidated.
Because I've been told in the past that I'm intimidating. So I'm just curious.
What, did I intimidate?
Well, I don't know if I was intimidated because I didn't know who she was when I met her.
No, I didn't tell him.
You know what I mean? I didn't really know who she was, and she was a little bit older than me. You know, so I never thought that our relationship would last forever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So
25 years.
Yeah, so it's been cool, but it's not easy, Judy. I'm telling you, any guy that deals with a musician, a female, somebody in the eye of the public, it's very, very difficult because I would say, you know, most of the men are very insecure. When you have a beautiful woman, most of you are very independent. You know what I mean? You really don't need a man. None of you guys. You know what I mean? So you're very financially independent. You know, you really don't need a man. So how does that make a man feel?
So do you think that in order for a man to feel good about himself, he needs to feel the woman needs him?
I don't want to say you need to feel that a woman needs you, but you like that security to know that, hey,
we need each other.
You need me and I need you. But for me to feel that she don't need no money from me, she can go out by herself. She has her own friends. You know, it's kind of like, what does she need me for? So you know, it's not easy for a man. You know.
Yeah, but you know how I see it. I see it how, you know, yes, I can take care of myself. Yes, I'm financially independent, but I need someone to experience life with me. I need someone to cheer me on. Sometimes I don't feel good and I gotta get on stage sick and I want to be able to look at the person. The person knows how hard I'm being, how it is to be up there. Because you can't tell people you're sick. They don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. But it's nice to look over to that person. The person goes, you got this, you got this.
Yeah.
You know?
I look at him so much.
And they hug you and it's everything. So we want someone to share it with us.
Yeah, but then you get then as a man, you can't like I go back to, she doesn't need me for this, I'm not wanted. So you guys got to do extra work to make us feel special, if that makes sense.
Which is my part. Because he thinks just because I have the money, I have what you would say the fame, which I still haven't reached where I want to be. I have been blessed to have many years of a career and a job. But for me, that doesn't make up for what completes my heart and my soul. Right. My soul needs to feel warm and comfort. With him, he just completes me. We have our moments where we disagree on certain things, whether it's in the business, whether it's the way I'm parenting, or it's certain things I'm not doing right. And he's giving me advice and I feel like he's trying to parent me. So our communication level is we talk. And sometimes we scream and yell and I'll walk out, take a breather, take a drive, come back. But we always seem to realize that no matter how much money I have, it can never amount to the love in my heart that this man has made me feel complete. Because I could see millions of people who could love me forever. But who do they love me from? Brenda K. Starr. Who does he love me? I'm Brenda, his wife. I'm Brenda, the mother of his kids. He's going to protect me because I one day may not be able to sing. It doesn't matter how much money I have. To him, I'm always his superstar in his eyes. I'm still his best friend. I'm his confidant. He's my confidant. I cry on his shoulder. He cries on my shoulder. When I struggle, he struggles. Right? Whatever you do, I do.
You want to do the interview by yourself?
Because I love you.
So, Chris, let's talk about this. You are the co-star. Quédate, the video.
You like that, right?
Brenda, I watched the video and I was like, oh my God, it's like, it's romantic and at the same time, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's
Judy,
like,
I got one question for you.
What?
This is my third video. Should I get a raise?
You should have, yes, by the third video, yes, you should.
You give him a raise, he's having another kid.
Is
Don't
the,
tell him
is the
that.
rice and beans enough? Is that enough pay?
No.
But I mean, no. On the serious tip, you guys go out, you work late at night. There's all men around you. Men want to, jump on you, love you.
That's not true.
No,
you get it a
come
lot.
on.
Come on, Judy.
No,
You're
no.
beautiful.
Actually, I
I've been
don't.
to your shows.
I don't, because I've been told I'm intimidating. My mom even told me, she says, well, you're a tall girl, you're a big girl. And, people feel like
You're
you have a presence, and they're
woman.
people do not approach me. That don't happen. And
Well,
I'm
I've
not
been to
saying
your
that
shows.
I'm not saying there aren't admirers, and maybe are, but they don't have the nerve to say
Well,
something.
sometimes maybe you're unapproachable because you have your demeanor is, your character is like very like,
I'm always
you're-
smiling.
you're always smiling, Judy, but you're so beautiful that sometimes when people come, you're very
Yes,
quiet.
yeah.
Out of all of us, you
Brenda,
are the quietest.
No,
Jew, you really are. I'm like, hey,
I'm
you're good.
actually the biggest extrovert, but Brenda is the life of the party. So you jump on the table, I go, all right.
That's another reason why I like her.
Next time you jump on the table, bring me with you.
But we just enjoy each other. You know what I mean? I just, I take advantage of every opportunity, especially with the pandemic. You know what I mean? I've seen so many people pass away within the last couple of years that, were healthy people. And, I just try to stay positive, healthy. The main thing is being positive, because in your business, it's not an always positive answer. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I try to keep her positive. She's doing this a long time. She knows more than me. She can run circles.
I don't
around
know
me.
more than you.
You do.
No,
You do.
I learned from you,
But
and you learn from me, and
Right.
that's why we're a team, because each one of us can grow from and learn from each other.
right.
And that's the reason why our marriage and our friendship is the way it is, and every day it grows, because we always learn from each other. That's the reason why we're partners,
Right.
because we complete each other.
And I try to put her business as a bonus. I never depend on the music business, not financially,
Mhm,
not for anything, because it's a roller coaster. And we
Yeah.
all know
I'm
that.
just sitting going, they're so cute together. They're so
He's
cute
actually
together.
he's actually
Seriously, I
retired
love
law
you guys together.
enforcement,
That's why I
so-
wanted to talk to both of you, because
No.
I just think you're a
Mhm.
beautiful example of what a really great couple looks like. I see,
Thank you.
like you said, Chris, it's not an easy business. It's hard.
Right.
And I know sometimes too, for you men, sometimes we're taken advantage of, sometimes we're not treated properly. And it's a real fine line between you trying to be supportive and not trying to cross the line.
Right.
But at the same time, that's your wife, and you don't want anyone to do wrong by her. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And
So
that's what
that must be hard
25
too.
years. So, with people meeting women in the business, or men, vice versa, it's a stepping stone. It takes time.
To learn how to deal with
I
it.
believe that if you guys love each other,
That's all that
it'll
matters.
always work. That's how I feel. I mean,
What do you love most
gets to
about Brenda?
everything. Her personality. She's a jokester. And anybody who knows Brenda, she knows she's a jokester. And
I always got him laughing.
always. I mean, what do they say about life? If you're smiling, you know what I mean? You're living
That's
a good life.
important.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, if you got wrinkles around here on the side of your eyes and by your mouth, then you're always having a
You're
good time.
laughing all the time. But not only that, I mean, I met Chris to really quickly. I had two little girls, 2 and 5 years old. And Chris came into their life, and he had no children. He had just gotten out of college. Long story short, fast forward, 25 years together, and he's been an amazing stepdad, which we don't even say step in our house. He's their dad,
Right.
and they have their biological dad, and we all have a great relationship. But he has always been the kind of man that it didn't matter that he raised my daughters with me, that they always stood in contact with their real dad. And he always made it important for them to realize that he loved them like his own. And for me, that stole my heart right away. And I was like, you know what? If this man can love my kids the way he loves them, and not even have a biological bond,
Right.
I says, this man is going to make me a happy woman, and we're going to live a happy life. Have we had our ups and downs? Absolutely. There's days that years ago when I just wanted to walk out, and he was tired and I was tired. But love is a challenge. Love is a learning lesson. And for us, our language of love is to learn how to communicate and we've had our moments of therapy, but we also realize that we love each other and that whatever's out there could be for someone else. But we have a family and we have a bond and we're best friends. And all we got to do is stay by each other's side, because it proves that this bond that we made and created is something that we want our children to look at and say, wow, my parents went through thick and thin and still stuck together and still can laugh and dance. Like, our kids see us kiss and dance and our kids are like, ooh, gross. But we're like, you know, we love each other.
Right.
So, you know, I know that I'm older than Chris, but in my heart, I'm not. We're both kids at heart, and we both love just having an amazing time together.
Right.
And I'm so blessed that I know,
I know I have a good life because of her.
No, we have a good life because of
Right,
us.
but
Because he's my manager, my agent. I wouldn't be working. I wouldn't be doing the things I'm doing if I didn't have him behind me. I have to raise my kids. I have to be a mom at the same
Right.
time. I've got this man on the
But I
computer.
appreciate
I've got this man on calls. So none of this can only happen because of me. It happened because of us.
right. But I appreciate the opportunity that life has given me, and I'm taking advantage of
It's all God.
it. And that's pretty much it. You know,
So in closing, Brenda, let everybody know where they can get Quédate now.
So Quédate is on all social media platforms. More than that,
Thank you, Chris.
we have the new videos on YouTube, fastly approaching over 60,000 views, and it's only been out 1 month. 3
Very
weeks.
nice.
It's gonna be
Very good.
it's approaching 3 weeks. I got a new English single coming out, waiting for it to get mastered and mixed and mastered. And all I can say, Judy, is thank you for having me, and thank you to the fans that tune into Judy's podcast. What you see is what you get is exactly what Judy said. You see the realest person when she gets on and she throws these and she films these podcasts for you guys. I just want you guys to know that Judy is and has always been an amazing friend to me, a sister to me. I remember when we were on tour and we were on my tour bus and we were getting ready, Judy.
I remember that
And
day.
we had such a great time. We drove all the way, I think it was to Albany, because the
We were,
planes were
supposed-
canceled.
we were supposed to do a show in Albany, and we were at the airport, and the flight got canceled. And I'm ready to go home. And Brenda's like, "Let's go on my bus." And we were like, "Really? Okay." My God, what a crazy trip!
But we
that was.
made it.
had
And the
fun.
thing was, and the reason why we did that was because you and I and all the other artists realized how important our fans are. So what I was getting at is to tell you, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to the fans and let them know what's going on with my career, what it is that are my obstacles, and about my relationship and my music. But thank you for sharing your platform.
And letting people, I
with
wanted
me.
people to see who you are, because when like I said, when I watch you, I just admire you. I really do. You
Thank
have
you.
something, there's
Thank
something in you that I don't quite have yet, and I'm looking for it. So when I watch you, I'm like, I want to be like that, you know? And I want to be myself. I don't want to be you, but you know, but that there's this thing that you don't hesitate. And granted, I'm determined, I'm ambitious too, but there's this thing that you just jump. And I go, well, wait a minute. Okay, I jump, you know? So I just want to jump like you. So the next time that you decide to go dancing somewhere,
I
let's
want
do
your
it
music.
together, all right?
Yeah, but
Well,
I just want you to know I loved and always have loved your music.
maybe
So
one day
for
we do
you,
something together.
I would love to do that, Judy. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. What would be better than a duet with Brenda K, Starr, and
We'll
Judy
find
Torres?
something. We'll find something. Let's do it. All right.
Maybe we could redo "Weakness of the Body." That was a
No,
great song. You didn't like that song, did
I
you?
hate. You know what it is? I didn't like the key for me, and I didn't
Really?
know. I was so young. Okay,
But it
let's be
sounded
honest.
great.
I never had a voice lesson in my life back then, and I just didn't know who I was. I didn't know how to use my voice in certain things. So when I hear it, I go, oh, I don't know if that
I
happens.
loved
to you,
it. Do you
but
know,
that's what happens to me,
Mariah and I
you
did
know?
that song together years back.
Yeah. So
When we were in the studio. But I just want you to know that I love your voice. And although you say what you say, oh, I wish I could do like you. I just want you to know, every time I watch you perform, I always say, damn, I wish I had No Reason to Cry or Come Into My Arms. I wish I had that song. Like, those songs are so amazing that the crowds just really go
yeah, but I don't have I Still
for.
Believe.
Yeah, but
Girl.
FYI, I've always wanted, beside Over and Over and Picking Up the Pieces, 2 or 3 extra freestyle songs. I mean, I did do the one with Tony Moran, but We got to do one together
Yeah,
for sure. And that is going to happen.
when you recorded I Still Believe, I had the 45 of it. And I remember in the Bronx, I kept remember that little plastic piece that you stuck in the middle?
Yes.
In the middle of the
Mhm.
45, there's a name for it, but I remember.
Yes.
And I used to play it. I played it over and over and over and over. And then I saw you perform it at Calle Ocho in Florida. And it's when the song was like at the top. And there was a gentleman, I think he was in a wheelchair, and he was way in the back, and you saw him, and you said, bring him up here. And people were literally passing the chair to get him to the front. I was bawling like a baby. I don't know if you remember that, but I remember that. And I remember, look, Brenda's so cool. So thank you so much. Continue being the person that you are. Continue being the trailblazer. You're just getting started, and may you get the Grammy. And the day it happens, I will be like, yes, girl, I knew she was going to do it. I love you.
Thank you. I love you
so
more.
Much. Brenda K. Starr and her husband, Chris Petrone, everybody. Thank you so much for keeping us company, enlightening people. And really, she's truly an inspiration. So thank you so much, Brenda, for being here.
Judy, you know what I got to say about her? It's really simple. And I think it's so apropos. What you see is what you get.
I was going to use that earlier myself. She probably hears that everywhere she goes, but it's true. Brenda K. Starr, Lisa, to me, those two girls, what you see is what you get. They are real. There's no facade about them. They put it out there and they don't play. So
she's incredible. And when you think you know enough about her, or that you know everything there possibly is to know about her, you learn more. It's like there's another layer peeled away, and it's really good to see her in a different kind of light, having a conversation with you guys as freestyle sisters versus a typical radio interview or something that she does press wise to promote something. There's a different kind of camaraderie and a connection there. So I feel like your conversation was really wholesome.
Yeah, and I hope that I asked her different questions, because I know for me as an entertainer, when we even you as an entertainer, when you get interviewed, people have a tendency to ask you the same questions, and it's fine because some people don't know about you. If no one's heard about you before, of course they want to hear, how did you start? Where are you from? How long have you been doing this? Those are general questions. But then you want to get a question that's provocative, something that people go, oh, I didn't know that. So hopefully that's what you heard here today.
Absolutely. And I think with your way of doing things, and Lisa, and so many of you freestyle icons, and Brenda too, there's a timeless feel too. The voice is timeless, the personality is timeless, the look is timeless. So it makes everybody still feel like, hey, the years might have gone by, but we still have our youth, and we still have what made our lives special, still relevant, still there, still in our face, and still looking and sounding so great.
Yeah, and just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to go away.
Exactly.
That's the thing about this industry. This industry is very ageist, very sexist sometimes, but it's like, that's what I love about Brenda, because Brenda doesn't care. Brenda's
and she goes to show,
so what?
You don't need to be on a label or controlled by anybody or a big corporation to kind of be your own boss, manage it, and do quite well with it.
Yes, Brenda is absolutely her own boss. I can't. This is awesome. Yeah, I love Brenda so much. She inspires me. I watch her on stage all the time, and that's what I see in her. I see a fire. She's like a tiger up there, and she's not afraid. And don't come near her. Don't try to mess with her or her kids or her husband. She will tear you up for sure. And I admire that about her too.
And people can definitely stay connected to Brenda's journey. So I guess final thoughts, Judy, on today's episode, the topics, the energy, everything.
Every single person in this world has a story. And if we all take the time to listen, we can all be inspired and empowered by it. And what I say to all the women in the world who are trying to make something of themselves, keep on going. And like we say in Spanish, pa'lante, pa'lante, sigue. No pare, sigue, sigue, no pare, sigue, sigue. Sorry, Vinny.
Judy, just tell them how they can reach out if they want you to help them find a beautiful life.
If you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, or there's a subject matter that you want to discuss, please email me at judytorreslifecoach@gmail.com.
And on all social media at Judy Torres Music. This has been a great episode. We hope to see you join us again. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you share, and all that great stuff on all major platforms. And until next time, what do you say, my friend?
There's no reason to cry. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.